What's going on, MSFers? Duelim here, back again with another video. And today, we're going to be doing a war video. That's right. I'm going to be showing you guys where to use Aries on offense and where he's going to absolutely dominate your opponent and neuter some of the best defenses in war. So if you're ready, let's get into it. All right, first fight, we're going to be looking at Aries SD going against a Spider Society. And this is going to be a punch down, a slight punch down, and you can see what goes wrong if you don't play it right. And then I'll show you how to play it correctly. There's also a common misconception that Aries is not working correctly, but he is. So you'll see he steals all of the on-spawn buffs from Spider Society, and then the war buffs get applied. And that is working how it should be. Now, this Aries did have the Awakened passive T5'd as well, so you see they do not have safeguards, so that is working just like Apocalypse, just like we thought it would. So you'll see here how this does not go correctly for my alliance mate here. He's kind of all-inning Peter B, and he's leaving Penny alone, which is a big no-no, especially because he's going to try to ability block Penny here. But it actually does land, which is great. But with that offense down, that could have been definitely really sketchy. No blind on Pav there. Definitely a little bit of a mistake. It could have been better because Pav is going to do some really big damage here and doing a lot of damage to that Aries as well. If your Aries is smaller, you may want to hide him on the corner away from the taunt to make sure stuff like that does not happen, because obviously Aries is low stars right now. You see they're definitely holding their own, but it's going to get ugly the second Penny starts taking turns and flipping buffs here. You'll see, given that immunity, the offense up, and the blocks here. You see he's still trying to just all in on Peter B here, and Peter B is taking some pretty good damage. Aries did bite the dust, and now Pav is going to ult. Actually, I think Aries was invisible there, but he's dead now, and Pav just absolutely Delitos everybody here. Peter B did go down, but the second Penny ults, that's it, and this is going to be a loss. So let's get into a fight where you can see it actually works correctly. All right, next counter, we're going to be talking about SD with Aries going into Spider Society, and the Spider Society is definitely a very, very good team, especially in war right now because they have those season buffs. But Aries absolutely neuters them. So yeah, this is great. I've done this once before, but now that I'm recording, I'm sure it's not going to work very well, which is going to be extremely funny for everyone to watch that's not named me. But yeah, I want to show the power of Aries, so let's see how this goes. We're doing it live as well. So we steal all those buffs, but they do get some of their buffs back from the war bonuses, which is intended the way that is working as intended. So we are going to rewind over here to rewind that Penny. Then we are going to get a, let's see, let's get a trauma stun on the Penny as well. And we're going to get an ability block on Peter B here. Okay, and now we can all in Peter B now that Penny's controlled, so we don't have to worry about her anymore. And we're going to blind down the middle here to make sure Pav gets the blind so his ult doesn't do anything or his special, but he did dodge it, which is unfortunate. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually ult with Aries on him to make sure he has an ability block. And then we're going to go back on Peter B in here in a second. Okay, we got some blinds, we got some dodges, and then we're going to get a big boy ult from good old Robbie Reyes, and that should do some pretty good damage. Okay, and then we're going to hit Peter B here because we want him to die. We also are going to give him a good old heal block because that is the best negative effect to put on him. I'm going to make sure Pav dies here now because don't want Pav doing his things with his ult because that could be bad news for sure. Okay, and then we're going to hit the ult with Photon here. And that's going to kill Peter B. So Peter B is officially dead now. There's pretty much no sweat from here on out. It's pretty easy. So we got to hit the only one that's not stealth right now. which is going to be Gwen. She's gone now, and then we can actually stun the Penny. Penny's a non-event now. And yeah, it's that easy. Aries with SD takes out a full Spider Society, and this was about a punch across, if I'm not mistaken. So about 3.1 versus 3.1. So let's get the next fight. So unfortunately, the game glitched a little bit, and I don't have the replay for this fight, but you can see this is an 800k punch up here on a really big Spider Society in Cargo. And you see SD Aries absolutely wipes it. So you can feel safe on doing a pretty big punch up, even against a Spider Society that is pretty big. I mean, that's a million Noir. So this looks extremely, extremely safe if you play it correctly. All right, next up, we're going to be using Aries SD against an Extreme with Chavez. And yeah, he even brought in Strange to flex on this. And Aries just does really good things. You'll see he got the ability block on Rogue there. He got the other ability block on Forge. He's going to get the stun on Gambit there. It is a pretty big punch down, but honestly, if you just stun Nightcrawler there, I think this team would absolutely wipe pretty much anything. Any size on this, and I know people are using Chavez a bunch on defense to speed up that Rogue and Nightcrawler, so this kind of neuters that because it works really well. Robbie gets an ult out here. Rogue's pretty much dead to this. Yep, she's a goner. Could have stunned Nightcrawler there, but didn't. Doesn't really matter. This fight is completely over, and then he's just going to solo a Nightcrawler here, and it's just as easy as that. So that's without Photon, using a level, like a 189,000 power Strange. So it's literally 3 characters and Aries taking out and pretty big Extreme with Chavez. So another pretty good counter. All right, next up, I'm going to show you guys SD against Aries, and you'll see this one ends up not working, but you can see how good Aries is a counter to Black Knight, because obviously he takes the charges off of Black Knight and does not let him get them again. So even when he specials there, he doesn't have the charges. But you'll see here, after I take about 4 turns in a row, I end up running out of steam, and I can't end up getting through this team. But you can see how well Aries does against Black Knight. You can see he's just a non-event here. And then Hive Mind just ends up doing well. But honestly, if Aries didn't drop there from Void Knight, I think this would do well because I'd go through so many turns in a row. But honestly, once Gwen ults here, Gwen ult does a lot of damage. So maybe not, but you can see here, Aries just does great things against Black Knight in general. It didn't work here, but if you ever see a Black Knight on defense, you can literally just run into them and run Aries into him, and he just neuters Black Knight entirely. Like, Black Knight's not even on the field at that point. He might as well have it exhausted. So that's really nice, even though this fight did end up failing. All right, next up, we've got Black Knight Spider Society, and we've got Aries Undying with Dorm. So it's essentially putting in Aries and taking out Doom for the normal Spider Society counter. But obviously this has Black Knight, so this makes it a little bit harder. So this is a great way to counter this. You'll see, once again, Aries just absolutely shuts down Black Knight, so he has no charges. And then from here, it's really just a straightforward fight. You put on all the negative effects on Black Knight, you spread him from Hela, and then you're back in the same position as if this was a full 5-piece Spider Society and you were doing the Doom Dorm Undying comp. So extremely, extremely straightforward. The only thing is you do get stuck on the taunt for a little bit, but you do rip through it. You do a lot of damage, so you do get through them pretty quickly. And again, you don't have the Doom here, so you can Dorm special turn 1 because you're not going to burn through his charges quickly. But yeah, you burn through BK. The other Spider Society members are controlled because they have 2 turns of ability block, heal block, trauma, all that good stuff. And then it's a pretty straightforward matchup. Aries did get to use his ultimate, so he put another ability block on BK and Noir ended up dying to the primary and adjacent damage. You'll see Dormammu did die there before he got to his ultimate, which is not detrimental at all. Aries special does stun, so he's focusing Peter B here. And that's it. You're just all in Peter B at this point, and then it's over. See, Peter B's dead, and then it's literally just the last 2 Spider Society members. last one Spider Society member. And this counter goes pretty easily. So, yeah, Aries is great to counter Black Knight in War. All right, coming into the next fight, we've got Extreme with Rogue, and we're going to be using Aries with the 4-piece Annihilators. So you'll see this one starts off extremely well. Pardon the pun. But I think this might be a little bit of a targeting issue, honestly. You'll see we get some ability blocks on Rogue, then an ability block on Forge. Ultimus does his special, and then stuck on the Rogue taunt now. Gladiator's going to clear some effects here, so it's looking really good in the beginning. But it seems like this team just ends up running out of steam once Nightcrawler goes, gives them the speed. Then we've got Gambit with a basic there. Ultimus taking out Rogue there. Ultimate Tank Buster. Love him. You got a basic from Forge. So you'll see this does look like it's going to work pretty well, honestly. Unfortunately, getting that Nightcrawler push there just completely wasted the stun. So that was really unfortunate. And then ability blocking him does nothing because he clears 2 negative effects on his turn. And you'll see Nightcrawler gets to ult. And then from here, it goes downhill big time. Got the ability block on Gladiator there as well, and then we got an ult coming out from Gambit. And then from here, Forge is going to be able to heal and bring everybody back up to full health, essentially, so it fails. Honestly, I think this could work if you played it better. I don't think you needed that quick ability block on a Rogue, but that's just me. I really feel like you could have played this a lot differently because you have the early ability block from Silver Surfer. You have the early ability block from Gore Special instead of using his ult, so that could have been an option as well. And then once Rogue gets pushed, Ultimus gets to delete her. So I think this can work, but it just didn't due to a misplay. But it's definitely a pretty good option just because the Annihilators are really good, and then Aries has some really good controlling effects even after his passive. So this is definitely another option for you guys. And that's going to be it for this one, MSFers. I hope you enjoyed. Give you guys some ideas on how to use Aries on offense. Clearly, he is not just a master key. If you put him with any team against any team, he's going to win. And that's a good thing. I don't think he should be there to just absolutely destroy the meta. But I think he's awesome for plug and play. And since this is my first war video, leave some feedback down below in the comment section and let me know what you thought if you want me to do some more war content. And I would be happy to produce that for you guys. But until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, MSFers.